Stop for a moment and think about the last time you felt compelled to change something, not just within yourself, but in the world around you. I've spent years diving into the depths of Carl Jung's work, and one of the most profound mysteries I've explored is the relationship between our internal psychological work and outward social action. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the state of the world today, but Jung's discoveries offer a kind of map for understanding how our personal transformation is intimately connected to societal change. In my study of Jungian psychology, I found that the process of individuation, the journey of becoming whole and integrating unconscious elements of the self, is not just a private endeavor, but one that carries immense implications for collective well-being. Jung observed his patients deeply and noticed that those who engaged sincerely in confronting their shadows and integrating disowned parts of themselves often radiated an authenticity that could inspire and catalyze change in their communities. This makes intuitive sense when you consider that society is, after all, composed of individuals. Yet Jung's ideas push us beyond this obvious fact to something far deeper, that social action grounded merely in intellect or ideology without connecting to inner psychological transformation tends to be superficial or even destructive. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to feel the weight of this truth Jung discovered. Without inner work, social activism runs the risk of being reactive or driven by unconscious projections. In contrast, when we commit genuinely to psychological growth, we build a foundation for social action rooted in awareness, empathy, and a capacity to hold complex contradictions. Jung's clinical cases often revealed how neglected, unconscious conflicts within individuals mirrored broader social tensions. For example, in times of political upheaval or cultural fragmentation, the collective shadow becomes visible through mass movements or violence. His insight was to understand these phenomena not as isolated social issues, but as reflections of unintegrated psychological material both individually and collectively. The urgency of this understanding feels greater now than ever. If you put yourself in this situation Jung outlined, where societal crisis reflects an unaddressed collective unconscious, then the imperative becomes clear. Healing must begin on the inside. One fascinating Jungian revelation is the concept of the archetype of the self, which represents the wholeness we strive for in individuation. This archetype is not just personal, but transcends the individual and connects us to a collective dimension. When a person advances in their inner journey toward integration, their actions can tap into this archetypal energy, inspiring others and fostering movements toward deep, sustainable change. This contrasts with superficial attempts at reform that lack depth and often fail to address underlying psychological causes of social problems. Several of Jung's patients experienced this shift profoundly. For instance, in his encounter with a young woman wrestling with her inner conflicts and feelings of alienation, once she began to integrate her shadow, she found the courage and clarity to advocate for marginalized voices in her community, transforming her personal pain into powerful social engagement. Such stories illustrate how psychological development fuels authentic social action. They become inseparable processes. Practically speaking, Jung recommended tools such as active imagination and dream analysis to bring unconscious material to consciousness and facilitate this integration. These methods enable us to recognize our hidden biases, fears, and projections that often undermine our best intentions in social contexts. By consciously facing and integrating these aspects, individuals gain not only personal clarity, but also a broader social consciousness that can guide ethical and effective engagement. Imagine using active imagination to dialogue with your inner shadow around social fears or prejudices. This work blossoms outward, enriching your social interactions with empathy and insight. Another accessible Jungian technique is journaling, with an openness to symbol and metaphor, which can uncover unconscious motivations for social attitudes or actions. The encouragement I draw from Jung is that while the process is challenging and sometimes painful, the potential for transformation is tremendous. Jung held a profound faith in human potential, even amidst darkness, believing true change comes from embracing all parts of ourselves rather than denying them. To summarize Jung's wisdom on this topic, psychological growth and social action are fundamentally entwined. Individuation not only liberates the individual, but also serves as the wellspring for authentic social transformation. When we work courageously on ourselves, we bring healing energies that ripple outward to society. The transformation promise here is enormous. By engaging in inner work, your social actions become more grounded, compassionate, and impactful, contributing to a collective healing process that Jung foresaw as essential for humanity's survival and evolution. Tomorrow, I invite you to join me in exploring a question that unfolds directly from today's insights. How can inner transformation contribute to collective healing? This topic is crucial because Jung's perspective reveals that personal and collective healing are not parallel tracks, but woven threads of the same tapestry. Understanding this next step will deepen your grasp of Jungian psychology and empower you to apply it in both your inner life and your social environment. If you found this exploration meaningful, please like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss this continued journey. Trust me, the next video will shed light on how your own inner work can become a beacon for healing beyond yourself, a crucial chapter in living Jung's transformative vision. Until then, remember this: our deepest change within becomes the foundation for the world we want to see without.